It's been nearly 6 months since Redfall's initial release, which has gone down as one of Xbox's biggest blunders in recent memory, being filled with bugs, mindless AI, poor performance, and some less than thrilling gameplay beneath it all. The game's reception was so bad in fact, that they had to make an official statement addressing the situation.
And we let a lot of people down this week with the launch of the game, but we will continue to strive on. You have to, right? That's what creative is about.
Since then, they've released 2 updates. The first of which mainly addressed some basic bug fixes, made some quality of life improvements, and increased enemy spawn rate, with the most recent update being a bit more substantial, making adjustments to gameplay, balancing, and the addition of the fabled 60 FPS for consoles, though the biggest added feature is of course, the addition of stealth takedowns. So I excitedly booted Redfall back up, with the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'd addressed all of the criticism, and finally delivered on the experience promised all those years ago. Loading in for the first time since it was released, full of optimism that Redfall is saved, the next No Man's Sky, I said to myself. My expectations were swiftly squashed as I made my way down through the ship towards the cargo door, only to discover the whole ass door asset was just missing. A bug, I say. Every game has a few bugs. So, I continue through the first mission to try out the new stealth takedowns. Turns out I can't, because there's no stake attached to my weapon. Okay. I keep making my way towards the objective, when I randomly start taking a shitload of damage out of nowhere. Nothing around me, no enemies, no traps, nothing. Then I hear,
"What is that red stuff?"
There was no red mist on my screen, just another missing texture. And that's Redfall. Missing textures, missing features, missing content. Even after this supposed massive update, Redfall 2.0, it seems no amount of patches will make this the game people had hoped it could be. Yeah, there's definitely more enemies in the open world now. It doesn't make it any more engaging though. There's a sheer lack of anything ever happening in Redfall. Maybe you walk past a skirmish, or one guy guarding a hostage, but that's about the most interesting encounters you'll come across. As I said, I replayed through the entire game, and there are still some glaring issues I noticed throughout. Remember how I mentioned about not being able to do a stealth takedown because I don't have a stake? Well, I got a stake, did some takedowns on some grunts, and was presented with just one single animation every time, so like, I sleep. But I thought I'd try it out on some vampires to see if there's any variation. There's not. Turns out you can't. Right, so let me get this straight. I need a stake to take down a person, but cannot use a stake to kill the fucking thing a stake is supposed to kill? Okay, cool. Moving on. Vampires. The supposed apex predators that have decimated the world of Redfall are far from the menacing threat that they should be. A couple of shotgun blasts to the face followed by a quick stake through the heart, and they're done. Instead of feeling intimidated, you're left feeling underwhelmed by the lack of challenge. Speaking of a lack of challenge, the AI, still not great. The basic grunts stare unfazed as you take out the person next to them, or stand out in the open blindly firing in your general direction, and the vampires aren't much better. The AI for the bosses isn't exactly stellar either, and for context, this is Bloody Tom, one of the big bad vampires that has a whole ass cult worshipping him. So, to sum up, do I think Redfall's worth your time after this latest update? No. Unfortunately not. This game is still absolute dog ass, honestly. And unless there's some sort of major overhaul or free DLC that gets released, I can't see myself returning to the world of Redfall anytime soon.